It does bring a degree of grumpiness with it, though, the good weather. You feel like you want to get out there and sprout off. And and I just noticed that, there's been a week of beautiful material come our way. Of course, Damo's had a World War III with Eddie.
Yes.
And there were, I think, fisticuffs involved in that, at some stage, Damo. And how are things settling? Have you actually spoken face-to-face as a result of your Monster Blue on the Footy Show with regard to a Collingwood story?
A Monster Blue. It was as I said to you on Wednesday, BT, it was a conversation between two colleagues. And to answer your question,
no, it wasn't
Ed and I have spoken either daily or every second day since said conversation, which was now 2 Thursdays ago. So
people were horrified. I'm told 2 offices down, the walls were vibrating. And to your credit, you were in there for the fight as well.
He was.
What actually disengaged it? I believe someone. Well, I can tell you. I believe someone came in and had to separate the said battlers.
And I think what stopped it, BT, was the fact that it was 8:29 and he had to be on air at 8:30. Now, look, the less sexy headline around that story was 2 colleagues have chat before show.
No, it was a massive storm.
But I'm glad you raised conflict, BT, because this has slipped through a bit, actually, Dark. And I'm holding you account to this. I think you should have drilled him a little bit more because you're very close, you and BT. But back on Monday night, talking footy, you had some pretty strong things to say about an icon in this game. And then that icon responded, which I liked. But let's go back to Monday night, talking footy, when you took on Nick Riewoldt.
If Nick Riewoldt goes on the board, Alan Richardson is done.
But I want to back over again. You honestly think if Nick Riewoldt accepted a position on the board, you think that he would make it his business to get rid of Alan Richardson?
I think Alan Richardson would be done.
Ooh. Right. I love it because I watched that. I thought, that's a strong news line there. I might pursue that one anyway. So Nick Riewoldt had been away. He gets back into Melbourne, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then is made aware of what you said about him, and, oh boy, he went,
I mean, to suggest that I could go on the board and walk in and wave a wand, and even if that was my view, to reach that outcome, I mean, seriously, is that how footy club boards work? To suggest that is irresponsible, and I think it's really disrespectful because it attacked my integrity as a person. Because to suggest that I've got an axe to grind, I found that really unfair. I've got a job in the media to call things as I see it.
Now, Brian.
Nick.
Now, Brian.
That is how footy club boards work. And as someone as good and significant as Nick Riewoldt, superstar Hall of Famer at that club, if he goes onto the board, there ain't going to be anyone on that board that isn't going to listen to Nick Riewoldt's thoughts on the footy department, right? He is going to be the one that they're going to listen to and take advice off. So to think that they're not going to listen to him and not take it, it's just absolute nonsense. He would be the one having a big say on that.
So do you think you're a little irresponsible?
A little bit, Brian?
Not one little bit irresponsible.
Did you attack Nick Riewoldt's integrity?
Absolute nonsense.
So what are you saying? That he'll go on there and get rid of...
Well, I just want you to consider this, to let this bubble around in your brain for a moment, Bill. That all year, Nick has, he's been asked for comments and he has to give comments.
Which he does in the media.
Yeah, but he's been quite derogatory of the coaching of Alan Richardson, I reckon.
Has he?
Now, this is I think, where we've got to the nub of this story. You and Alan Richardson are very close. It goes back to your time at Collingwood. Before you cracked
actually, we're not.
You were teammates, and you both missed the grand final. He missed it for injury reasons. You were left out, then you cracked it.
And then you had to throw in another little bar.
And then you wrote a book about all the trade secrets as they were trying to celebrate this iconic premiership win. But
no, this is
you're very close. You're very close.
No, we're not.
And you've been very defensive this year whenever this station has raised the future of Alan Richardson. So has Alan Richardson put you up to this narrative?
No. I'm very defensive on all coaches that I think should deserve a go. And when you know people personally and you understand a little bit more about them, I reckon you've got the insight onto whether they should go or stay. And that's all that I'm saying. What I don't like is when people make comments about a particular person, and I do it sometimes, so I shouldn't like myself. But you just know it's wrong, and you know he's a great person, and he's a really good coach, and he deserves the opportunity. And I really look at what has happened to Hardwick over recent times. Chris Scott down at Geelong, Bomber Thompson down at Geelong, and think that he deserves an opportunity.
Not the only blue, by the way, Damo, in the media world.
No. everyone's fighting with everyone at the moment,
What's
aren't they?
going on,
Even
mate?
Chris Judd, who spent a career being worshipped and idolised by everyone, he's finding himself in stoushes. So you've contributed to part of this. You'll hear your voice in this little package here. But Juddy, bluing with a couple of people around footy.
I think Melbourne are too good a team to celebrate this hard just for making the finals. I think they can do some serious damage in September. I think they certainly celebrated harder than I would have liked.
David Schwartz, this was the column. For Chris Judd to question whether the D's over-celebrated in Perth on Sunday afternoon just shows what an elitist world he lives in. He can get stuffed.
There was noise. I didn't realise David Schwartz said something. Is he still in the media? Is he?
Yes.
Juddy wears a lot of hats. He's got the Carlton hat. They won 2 wooden spoons this year. The seniors and the ladies.
You gotta fight!
Take a look at the tone of John Ralph's questions.
Is Chris Judd on the football show?
He is. Yes.
So how's the footy show going? Has he been acclaimed for his performance on the footy show? Has he done anything to sort of lift it up? When he came to Carlton, did he turn Carlton into a winning culture? Did West Coast have a good culture? So why are we being lectured on culture by Juddy? He had a crack at you. I thought it was pretty cheap.
Hasn't missed you on much there.
No, but I mean, I don't hold it against John Ralph having opinions. When you don't break stories, you've got to have opinions, Hutchie. And the good thing about when you're on the wrong side of the John Ralph opinions, you know he's going to flip-flop sooner or later as soon as someone eyeballs him.
Jesus, Juddy.
That was a bit harsh, Bill, in hindsight.
He did have a crack at you.
Ralphie's just out of form. You know, he's had a quiet 20 years.
Oh, Juddy's got all the answers.
He's a bit like Duck. He doesn't care, which we like that about you two.
That was a good stout.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard any of that before. That was very good.
I love him, Damo. You know, no one enjoys
By the way, Ralphie,
arguments in the media more than me.
I don't normally agree with Ralphie, but he sort of held his own there.
What, you agree with him, what he said about Juddy?
Mouth. No, but he held his own. He had some sort of points.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
We've uncovered another one.
If he wants to ask questions of Juddy along those lines, he might want to shine the torch back into his own organisation.
It was just a good battle, is what I'm saying. Damo, geez, sometimes it doesn't have to be a winner or a loser.
Hey, by the way, speaking of winners and losers,
Out of
20 years.